Hey, Pedro.
Hey, Nick.
Here we are for another episode of
Who do you think you are?
episode 14.
14.
All right.
All right. I like that. I like that little intro.
A little heady.
Yeah. Feels like I was in a little video game or a waiting screen.
A little video
somewhere.
game?
Yeah.
Interesting. Not a big video game,
No,
just a little
just
one.
a little video game.
Just a little video
Yeah,
game.
it's a little small one.
Wow, it was a strange week.
Was it?
Yeah, kind of.
Why do you
But
say that?
I feel like it's gonna get heady really quick. Do you have any happy stuff to talk about? Started on a light note.
We installed my door.
Nice.
Yeah. I put that up on the IG. Big news. We changed the name. So it's not Wooderter anymore.
Yeah, damn.
It's actually at Who Do You Think You Are Pod.
Terrible marketing
All spelled
idea.
out. No, I mean,
why would we do that?
It suggests like even when you're typing it in, yeah, or the first idea, yeah, I don't know why we did. I think I told you we were so excited to start it, and I was like, I gotta find a name for this.
Yeah,
you know?
just like,
so yeah.
Well, yeah, I think originally it's like too long too, or it's like that seems like a lot to type out, but
once you do start typing it out, like you get the suggestions that pop up. So hopefully we pop up.
it looks great.
I like it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so hurricanes coming.
Oh
It's about
shit.
to wash us away, dude. Not us, actually.
Not
That's
us.
fine.
We're like the least
Yeah,
ones
we're
to
pretty
worry
safe
about.
from any of those
Yeah.
natural disasters. Have you ever been in like a flood or a hurricane or anything like that?
No, I've been in like really like intense rainstorms.
Yeah.
But not where the power goes out. And
Right.
You're just stuck in the
The
dark. for a
haboob.
while. Similar, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
in Mexico, I remember. Just the power would go out, and my grandpa would have to go out to the main breaker and just fucking switch it on while he's soaking wet, and like luckily he never fucking got electrocuted, But yeah, here too. I mean, the power's gone out over at our place a couple times.
Yeah, nothing too serious.
Nothing too serious. Nothing that I'm like fearful for my life.
That's great. I was doing a little reading on like so I guess it's supposed to be either a category 4 or 5. And what happens is like the water and the storm comes from like Africa. So since it's warm, it makes it a little more dangerous. Like where it's like, I don't know, the tropical storms, I guess there's more time for them to kind of heat up and keep on going and moving. So I don't know, another natural disaster would be interesting to see how kind of we maneuver through that. But what it got me thinking more of is I'm thinking a lot of, like this digital age that we're slipping into, and how like how much less and less we actually have material things or something that we like hold on to, even if it's this podcast or putting music out, it's all on like a cloud now.
Yeah.
That something, if there was a natural disaster or something that's going to happen to wash everything away, so much of our like civilization really it would be wiped out completely.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think that it is very possible, in ancient Egypt or wherever, there could have been they could have been super smart, super intellectual as well, and then we don't really know the extent of what was actually remaining. Like what would actually be remaining from America? Like what would somebody see that would find it like 1,000 years or 100 years later? Be like, what were these fucking people doing?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's weird to think about. Good luck to everybody out there that is going to have to deal with that, What do you mean as far as finding like remains of here in America?
Right, like what would actually... It's just interesting to think of, 100, 200 years, whatever, pass as, buildings collapse, things, turn to dust,
right,
go into the... like what will we be remembered as in a way? Like what are the milestones?
Yeah.
Because there's like, you look at time and there's always only those kind of... I mean, for example, yesterday was, 9/11.
Yeah.
17 years ago. Like that was a huge shift in the world, the country at least. I mean, and how even just our own personal freedoms were kind of thrown out the window. Like life never goes back to the same since then. So like what are these plateau moments that... And it's kind of crazy that just one little thing like that can just completely shift everything. Like it could be that one hurricane. It could be this one fight with another country. Like it just takes 1 second to just completely shift the path of, I don't know.
The natural path.
The natural path.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is it the natural path?
I don't know. Who's to judge?
That's true.
Yeah, it's scary shit, dude. I wouldn't want to be like blocking up my windows and like, you know, going out to these stores and having to like stock up on shit, just prepping in a way.
Survival mode.
Survival mode. That's scary shit.
It is. So good luck out there, everybody.
Yeah. What is it? Who's going to get hit? North and South Carolina? The Carolinas, right?
Yeah. I almost moved there actually, like 2-3 years ago.
Why?
I like wanted to get a job at a brewery really bad, and so one of my uncles or I don't know, somebody in like my family works at a brewery there, and they're like, "Oh, we could get you a job here." I tried applying to all the ones here.
Nothing.
It's really hard to get into.
Well, what requirements does that?
I mean, years of being a brewer, like we talked about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump into this one here.
I'm sorry, you can't jump into it because you need 5 years of practice of doing this. Like that's why I'm applying. I'm trying to get the years of experience.
Can I sweep around here?
I know. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well,
give me a fucking chance. Mm-hmm. And that's the shitty part with like getting out of college nowadays and not having a job in the field that you studied for, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. I heard, I think my mom told me, I have no idea where she heard this or if it's true or not, but she was saying something about like Amazon and another big company, tech company, was like, they're not exclusively looking at colleges anymore. They're like, they are kind of looking for that more like an interview of talking, conversing with the person, getting a feel for it. But who knows how much of that is actually bullshit, I'm sure.
I mean, it's your mom.
Still, well, yeah, she's still full of shit. But, you know, even just as a company, they want to look good. They're probably like, yeah, no, we don't just look at college anymore, but you still need it. But then it's funny, too, even if, so we do shift that way, like, okay, 5 years from now or something, like most companies are like, we don't care about college merit. Like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
I spent $100,000 in debt already.
I'm still trying to pay this shit off.
Now you're telling me.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, inevitably that probably will be what happens, I'm sure.
No, for sure. Oh, excuse me.
Well, yeah.
This is a fucking boring ass conversation. No. I woke up a little late, stayed up. Dude, fucking, I've been binge watching Ozark, dude. I can't stop watching it. Like, once I start it, I can't stop.
I know. It's so
and I go through like three episodes at a time.
Yeah.
They're like long episodes. So they're like hour episodes.
It's a good show. I finished that a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago?
No, a week or two ago. I guess it came out a couple. Well, I don't know. Time moves so fast, man. I think
it
was 3 weeks ago, I think.
That it came out?
Yeah.
Probably. You're probably right, because I was like watching other shows too before I started Ozark.
Time is strange. When I go on a deep jump into that again. So,
yeah,
like how time and space is relative. So it's like, I think we've talked about this on this podcast before. About how it's always, I can never wrap my mind around how if you go into space, time slows down. Like I could go miles and miles and miles away, then you would age and I would stay the same. Right. Or like I don't know. I still don't really understand it. But I was watching something, went down this rabbit hole about how, you know, if everything's already happened, or how kind of like light and time travel, how since that is true, like if I go far away and I don't age, does that mean everything's like already happened, that's already moving? It's like if you step back at like looking like at like a timeline or something, you know how you would see something kind of morphing into a pattern. It like maybe that's what existence is in a weird way, like because everything has already happened, but it's already only happened on this plane at a different time.
You talking like interstellar type of shit?
Kind of.
Yeah, because
I mean that's actually existing though. Like,
yeah, not that I was. I don't know. I heard it got a lot of backlash from Neil deGrasse Tyson because
did that one? I thought.
Or no, that was Gravity. Never mind. Yeah,
Interstellar. I think he said he enjoyed because it was actually very in tune with
the scientific aspect of it, right?
Yes, yeah. And as I kind of keep on
because he's like going back and like he's taking out that book or whatever in that bookshelf, and he's like trying to relay the message, like don't fucking go, dude.
Fucking crazy.
Oh, dude, it was intense.
Time and space is crazy. It's just
that. Yeah, I don't know how that fucking.
But it's bizarre to think that maybe everything has happened or has existed, or do you think everything, like, do you believe there's a path? Do you believe you have a choice of your, like, what you're gonna do, how you're gonna? You think the path's already been chosen in a way?
Interesting.
Have you already lived this life?
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's just mind baffling, it's like it's hard to think about if there's already a path set for you and like this is your life, this is what you're gonna do.
Uh-huh.
We don't know that, so in the now we think we can make our path.
It is chosen for you a little bit. I mean, you're born into the aquarium, or you're born into
very
whatever
true.
your situation is.
But I think it's more what you make of it.
Right.
We don't know if that's the fact, that we've already lived this. You're only getting so far, per se, This is just a timeline that's already happened, and you're right here. You're like skipping forward in a fucking show.
For sure.
We don't know if that's true, so why worry about it in a way?
Yeah.
Or it's fun to think about, and it's fucking crazy. And it blew my fucking head.
It's kind of like if you're on a roller coaster and you inevitably see the ups and downs, and you know how it's gonna go. You can sit there and be like mean mugging, or you can enjoy the ride.
Right.
And it's like kind of that you're stuck here, so enjoy it, which is actually a really fun thing too. At Six Flags, me and my cousin used to always do that. We go on rides and try to keep a straight face.
I just not doing it.
It's really difficult. It's really hard not to smile and start laughing on a roller coaster,
or just oh shit, just give it a little thiz face
for sure. But yeah, I think that's all you. I mean, I don't know if everything is chosen. Everything's already. If there's a path for us, I think there kind of is in a way. There clearly is. But it is your relation with that and how you choose to kind of coexist and walk on through that. Yeah.
You ever get beaten as a child?
No, not really. I had there was
quick segue from that conversation.
Yeah. Are you trying to say there's something wrong with it? No. I might have gotten a belt once or twice. Or I got things thrown at me, but not directly, really. Like
thrown in anger because of you.
Yeah. Which I totally get. I was a fucking little piece of shit kid.
Yeah.
It's funny how I don't think you should ever hit your kids, but I think they should be afraid that you
bitch, I will hit you.
you know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like it's such a fine line anymore,
It's hot, yeah.
It's okay, I'm gonna give an example. Yesterday I was over at my sister-in-law's.
Punched him in the face.
I fucking socked that kid across the room.
He gave me this look when I first saw him.
No, I was laying on the floor, and he comes up to me. He's crawling on me like a fucking toddler does.
Yeah.
Then he looks at me, and he deliberately just socks me right on the chin.
Oh, the reverse slap.
Yeah, no, for real. And I got really hurt by that, and no. I was like, okay, let that slide. Because sometimes babies do get overexcited, dude. They don't know how to deal with they don't know that's not right. Yeah. Obviously, it's a fucking 2-year-old.
Right.
But then he did it again, and he laughed, and he smirked. So I was like, okay, this fucker knows. I grabbed his hand, dude, and I just gave it a smack, you know? And he's like, starts crying, and then I just sat him down on my lap. I'm like, look, we got to be gentle with the face. We got to, and I grabbed his hand, and I put it on mine. I put my hand on his face. I don't know. It's a line of you make it known it's discipline, not like you said that healthy fear of knowing that a parent will do that.
Or if it's constructed out of, obviously it's not the proper way to convey what your message is always through obviously it's not through violence, but if there's a meaning behind, you're like, okay, look, I'm trying to explain, a lot of times a lot of anger is out of control, and there's no real course of it. It's like a mixture of, but when there's a message and you're clearly trying, we're all just fucking monkeys. And chimps are vicious.
Yeah, we're crazy animals.
We gotta keep it in check. But it's an interesting time too, because the more kids have platforms where they go on social media and say, well, my say what violence is, when it's always there's shades of everything.
Right.
When maybe who knows the actual story? Where now it's always, all right, well, let's side with the kids, or say what's there, or it's blaming somebody else in a way. My sister talks to me sometimes about this of it's really hard to discipline kids in school, because a lot of times now the teachers come to the teacher and say it's the teacher's fault and not their kid's fault. Yeah.
The parents come to the teachers
and say, what do you, you're not teaching right, or something like that, rather than being
your
wrong. Your kid needs to start focusing, or needs to,
Oh, you're saying there's something wrong with my kid?
Exactly.
Like, my kid's what? Mentally ill? What?
Yeah, right, yeah. Exactly.
That's a slippery slope.
And that's a world we live in now, though, too. It's like, nobody's ever really, they're always the victim, I guess. Right. Everybody's the victim. Nobody's spitting the fire.
We didn't start the fire.
Spit in the fire. We didn't spit the fire.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Take a drink. Drink some water. I think I've asked you this before, but I don't know if it was on mic. You drink water before coffee?
Oh, yeah. First thing in the morning. And a kombucha.
Kombucha.
Mm-hmm. Probiotics.
I've been trying to get into that, dude. Mm-hmm.
It's a real treat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We went to the Churchill yesterday.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill, dude. It's like really hipster, and I heard good things about it, and I've seen it occasionally.
Yeah.
The setup is sick, bro, with all those fucking containers, like
those shipping containers.
And then you just got pop-out windows and there's little stores and shit.
Yeah.
But across from that, when we were leaving, there's this place called Bicycle Nomad Cafe. Mm-hmm. And so, like, half of it's a little coffee shop, and then the other half's like this fucking legit ass like bike shop. They have so many new bikes, dude. And I was walking around in there, I was like, oh,
bikes. So expensive.
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait till it gets cool enough so we can start riding. We'll ride down there, dude.
I feel like I just forgot about that part of my life completely.
Summertime, you like drop things. Yeah.
Dude, I just forgot, like, we used to always ride, like, we would go on, like, 17, 18 mile rides, and that's, I feel like we could top that. I want to do a real long one. Let's do the Tour de France together.
Let's do it.
Shit our pants and break our legs. Getting green.
But we have to use steroids.
But it doesn't always help. Remember, his results were worse on Icarus. Right. He tried, and he actually did worse. But I think his bike got fucked up too, right?
Yeah. That's a crazy fucking experience. That Russian guy.
Yeah, that was.
Isn't he in protected service or like witness protection or protected service?
I would be very scared of Russia to do not want to turn.
Don't fuck with Putin, bro.
Or North Korea. Have you seen like that? Like the one where that lady. She was wearing like a smiley face shirt, and she had to assassinate somebody. She like sprayed this thing in his face, and it was like on a security camera because he like talked shit about the North Korean government thing. But it's just crazy because they just do it in the public, fully don't give a fuck. Just took him out. She was wearing like a sinister shirt, like an assassin, I guess, paid assassin
from North Korea.
Yeah. It was in North Korea, so I don't know. Something was.
So like she just goes up to the dude and fucking shoots him.
Yeah, and it's like
people are around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't say shit. That's that kind of country they live in, dude. That is insane. That is fucking mind blowing. Like, oh well.
And the fact that it goes viral and she has like a comical shirt on too.
It's like, almost like mocking.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
look what I can do.
Right. No, that is.
That's exactly what that is.
It's very like cartoony. It's like what's her name in I don't know, it was a shitty movie. That like Suicide Squad.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But she was just like that kind of bratty suicide.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's crazy the control a government has and what they can do. Do you think our own government does some shit like that?
Not blatantly.
No, you don't think they assassinate like any like?
No, I mean not like in the public eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they covered up with suicide or car accidents. Yeah. You think that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Mean, I don't think I could put a lot.
Later?
I don't think we should. I could put a lot past our government right now. You know, like.
But maybe that's the facade. That's like the controlled opposition where it's like, hey, look over here. There's a fucking crazy guy here. And then it's like under the rug. They can.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, that's how
Right.
they pass like bills that they want to get
Nike.
through. And you know what's only gonna benefit them, I guess. I don't know. It's that way of looking at it, like there's a puppeteer controlling everything, which is, I don't know if that's always the case, but I definitely there is that to some extent.
Hillary Clinton's had 11 of her security guards like mysteriously die. There's 42 people around the Clinton Foundation, 42 that have like very strange deaths.
Really?
42 people.
That's
a lot of people to know that like.
And it's not like old age.
Yeah, no, it's never like that. It's
something's
like
fucking weird.
it's like that's fucking creepy. Like that
Like
kind of
this
makes
guy
my
was like,
skin crawl a little bit.
I'm kind of getting chills right now.
Because
this guy's like at the door while they were having this conversation. They totally forgot he was there, and it's like, oh shit, he heard.
Or he
way too
quits,
much.
or he gets in an argument with them a couple days later.
Right. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Oh, he left his car in reverse. While
Right,
he
or
was-
suicide is always sad.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa.
He was clinically depressed. You can't fucking argue with that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's for sure. I think that's well. There's a theory in a lot of the high government that they kind of get some kind of dirt on you.
Yeah.
So then they have this they blackmail you essentially.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's blackmailing. I mean, at that kind of level. I mean, it's so cutthroat.
Yeah, dude. Fucking. It really is. And like the show Ozark has given me like a little insight. It does give you like a little inside view into that politics,
Oh, that's
like
true.
lobbying
Yeah.
and like it's just bribes and like, well, I did this, so you got to stick to your fucking word.
And you think about the cartel and drug money.
Yeah.
There's billions and billions of American dollars used in drug. It's the biggest business in
Yeah.
America. It's drug. So that money's going somewhere, and it has to funnel through somewhere too. So you know how fucking greedy people are because it just feeds their ego and they feel like they're on top of the world. So they can turn a blind eye or they can set enough walls between them and whoever they feel like is the dirty money.
Yeah.
Just to keep on reaping those benefits. I mean, that's the thing with, oil even. We're sucking the tit dry of oil just to get every last fucking dollar of it, even though we know it's not sustainable. Like, it's going to kill us inevitably, but there's so much money and so much of government that runs to help these people survive and keep on.
Well, it's just fucking banking right now,
Yeah.
And until it's not fucking out, or, we suck the tit dry.
Yeah.
I think we're going to keep doing it. If we don't die prior to that, if we don't put all that CO2 out in the fucking air.
Like fracking and all that.
Yeah.
It's scary because the people that are making all these laws are as old as John McCain. Too soon. So like all these people that are putting these things into place and putting, the livelihood of the world are gonna die off like in the next. I mean, Donald Trump's 74 or something.
That's
right?
crazy.
And if you,
I think he was that old.
72.
I don't know.
Oh, it's one of those.
No, I know he's in his 70s, but I didn't originally think he was. I didn't.
But what's crazy is you think, okay, have you seen like those before and after presidential pictures?
Yeah.
It's like George Bush. Then 8 years later, Obama. It's like, holy
they
shit!
stuck a
You
leash
look like
to
a
them, and their
grandpa.
life was being sucked out of them.
All the stress and
Yeah.
and then you look at Donald Trump with how like he takes pictures of eating
15
fast food,
15 Diet Cokes a day.
I mean that 8 years is gonna be like
Maybe that's just
unless it's 4, but
that's his fuel.
a lot of people say like that's not even a thing anymore. It's
Terms?
been a really really long time since somebody has only gotten only 4 years. Like 30 or 40 years or something crazy if you really track it back. I'm not sure how far back it goes.
Oh, isn't that bad?
But when I think about it, it's like, but we've also kind of accepted that it's because if you think about that too, like the Democratic leader or another party really should be kind of in the limelight right now and kind of building up to this huge election. Yeah. But we've kind of just been like, oh well. This distraction. I wonder what the distraction's from. We were talking about Nike last week, and I feel
repping it today.
And I still feel like there's
revenue went up 31%.
Yeah, it's all just fucking. That's all it is, dude.
That's all it is, bro.
It's either they're screaming over here for attention or for rep. It always traces back somewhere, and I guess just as simple as revenue now. I forget where the bit was, but he was like holding a toaster, and he's like, well, I love the toaster, but what are the company's views on abortion? Where it's like, we're like that's just the weird like social, like now that's how we feel, like social justice.
Right.
Whereas their fucking trick, like it's all just for money. They got you. They got you.
Got you right when they want you.
Yeah.
Man.
If there's not something bigger, it could be something bigger than that too. Who knows?
Yeah.
What the
Mind control.
man?
MK
I mean,
Ultra.
all advertising is mind control. We were talking about that.
Memes.
Yeah, memes.
Fucking.
I've been thinking of like sound and how like kind of kinetic sound, how that kind of plays a part in our normal psyche, because you break down advertisers, Nike. It's then you start. I mean, they're taking it every aspect, all the five senses of how can we get to people, how can we make them feel. So obviously it's the sounds that are in the commercials, the songs, the vibration of your phone, the casino when you're pulling it down, like that's giving you a little. So there's always something behind sound that is manipulating us in some way. And I was probably way too high thinking, but what about like little hums and little things like that could also. Right.
Or like the white noise.
White noise.
Kind of.
If there's kind of an insidious like meaning behind some kind of noise, whether it being in a mall. I think malls even play a weird frequency that like makes people kind of like more in tune with buying something. They play like a weird kind of tune that you wouldn't hear, but your ears do pick it up.
Huh. That's interesting.
So think about how often we probably aren't really aware of it, even if you're at a Walgreens and you're walking, like just the sounds that are the register, the beeps, everything has a meaning behind why it's doing that.
That's crazy.
It's
We're
crazy.
Being fucking controlled.
And I just wonder how much of that is actually changing us or making us happy and making us more depressed, or probably making us very like giving us attention disorder for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because think about being in the middle of the forest, camping, really being in touch with nature. I mean, you're almost a different person.
Yeah, I mean, you're more in tune with yourself and what's immediately around you. I mean, you have the noises of the birds and all that. Like that's why I like doing yoga outside. Like, you just hear the wind. You just when you're in
that gives you something.
It does,
right?
Dude, for sure. Yeah. I think we're lacking in it.
I think so too, and that's the scary part. And we've kind of given up so much of that freedom.
Right.
And it's the same thing with there's light pollution as well. Where like Los Angeles, you can't even see the fucking
stars. Or anything. Yeah. I mean, I get it. To a certain extent here in Arizona, because it's fucking brutally hot
and landlocked.
Outside. So like if you were to like, but there's like in the evenings you can go out and stroll. Like 7 o'clock you can go walk around or something. There's parks you can go to. I don't know, dude.
You can always do it. It's making the time too, because there's something about absorbing it. Right? There's like, you feel...
There's something about going outside and getting some sun, too. At least 20 minutes. Like, there's something about that, too.
Right.
Like, that boosts your vitamin D levels. Like, there has to be something else around, like, what you feel when you're out in the wilderness. Because camping is a thing. People do that. They love that.
100%.
And some people go out and live like that. Yeah. Just because, I'm sure everybody gets tired of this bullshit, this rat race that we're trying to keep up with. It's a lot of pressure if you really think about it. You know? Everybody deals with it, and to a certain extent, you understand why people lose their fucking minds and do all this crazy shit.
I 100% understand that.
Yeah, aside from there being drugs involved or whatever, there is something seriously wrong with how we're living.
Unhappiness. I think
sadness.
And that, and I think we just all kind of accepted, and that's the danger of making the jokes and making the dark comedy, because then when we all start relating on that note, it's like, oh well, we all got it. Work sucks. Like, we're all gonna live and die. Like, isn't it funny? Let's have a drink. You start making these exceptions to kind of, I don't know, when you build camaraderie around negative things, that's all you're ever going to be inside of.
Yeah.
You know, and I think as a nation, I can't speak for the world because I haven't really traveled, but I know that being around people, interacting with enough people from a day-to-day basis, everybody's got their head down, focused and stressed out and not happy, just not happy. I think not happy folks.
Yeah. And I went, like I said, we were at the Churchill yesterday, and shout out. No. There was a shop in there, and we went in, and there's shipping containers. So they're small. They're fucking badass, dude. I told Rachel we should like.
I've always wanted to live in one of those.
Oh, dude, me too. That's what I told Ray.
Yeah.
I was like, we should just buy a lot, you know, and for the same amount of money that we bought this house for, we could build a badass fucking, I don't know, shipping container.
I was going deep on tiny homes for a long time. Like, I was pretty set on wanting to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something.
It's that minimalism, that like being more connected, not having so much distraction, so much fucking propaganda around.
Exactly.
Yeah, material.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's like, yeah, I love all these things.
It's cool. It builds the environment, but you don't need it.
You don't need it.
And sorry.
Oh, I was going to the point that, like, I walked in this store and they had the pillow and it said, "I hate everyone."
Yeah.
You know, and the lady, I was like, "Oh, look at this pillow," you know, because a couple months ago on my inspirational board, it said Tom Segura's quote, which was, "Don't you just hate everyone?" You know?
Yeah.
That's how he started one of his bits. But I had that on my inspirational board, so I was like, this would be perfect for the house, you know? And that's like relating that negative. And she's like, everybody loves that pillow. The lady at the store says, she's like, everybody loves that pillow. And they're like, and she says, I don't know how I feel about that, because it's like, hate. I told her, I was like, lady, hate sells. You know, you got to keep this place open. You know, you sell as many of those as it's true. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to for her. You know, hate does sell, but she's like, I don't want to be promoting hatred, but it's like, I don't know. It's also, you said, throwing out those little jokes, negative jokes, negative comments. I feel like you could do that to a certain extent, like.
I've been working on that a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, there's a lot of times I kind of like hear the joke or the instant jab out, and I really have been stopping myself from doing that, actually.
That's a very good thing to do. I think that's definitely been hard for me.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I think it opens more lengths for conversation and empathy, and you know, like like compassion, I guess.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
If we know that we're all unhappy, why be the dickhead that's like, just because I can see what your insecurity is, like why call it out? Because ultimately I'm doing it because I feel insecure about something myself.
Yeah, it's
all. I mean, you are your own projections. So it's like, I don't know. So I have been like stepping back and really reassessing.
That's good,
that.
Dude. Yeah.
Because if like going back to the whole, you know, when you're outside in the wilderness, you're consuming. You're like, you know, it's invigorating to be in the sun and to be in nature and look at the stars. You feel more connected with everything.
Right. You realize we're this fucking tiny thing.
Exactly. And well, it's that, and then it just goes back to, you are what you consume, no matter what. Everything that you do. Everything you watch, everything you hear, every little hum that the government puts into your car radio when they're listening to you on your Siri radio.
Oh, shit.
No, but I just mean, literally everything is shaping you and morphing you in some way. So assess it, I guess. Think about it. Who do you think you are?
Yeah. Analyze who you are and project what you want. You know, project who that person is. Mm-hmm. We've said it multiple times. We're fucking traveling vessels. We are not necessarily our thoughts. You know, thoughts come and go in and out.
Yeah.
My thought. I get a thought, and then I don't know. It's like that view of these thoughts just flashing. Like air is thoughts, and they're just going into everybody. You know, in and out. And some people grab a hold of those thoughts and they like cling on to that. That's that. Getting back
makes them feel real.
Yeah, that, or it could be just a negative thought. That's why we get serial killers.
Also
like,
makes them feel real.
Exactly.
Or alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how...
So
like,
we are exactly...
And you hold... Yeah, you pick and choose which thoughts you choose to hang on to.
Yeah.
And then you live amongst them. And you can let them all fucking go. It's really insane. Because it's crazy to me, all the things, and that's what my ego was, of what I thought made me, who I was, essentially. But never second guessing that, never questioning, well, what is that part and what is it doing to me?
And why don't we question it?
Yeah, why don't we question it? And why, like, you know, you are what you consume. These thoughts are morphing you, but they are not you.
Exactly.
You can just let them go and then be living and breathing in the moment and enjoying each other's company
Or, I mean, if you do want to hold on to something, hold on to good thoughts. Hold on to positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Hold on to you holding back that negative comment. You know, that's a thought that you got in your head. It's like, I shouldn't do that. Well,
that's true.
You know, it's like, that's a thought. Hold on to those. Better yourself. I don't know. I don't want to feel enlightened or superior at all because I'm not. I catch myself doing this shit all the time too.
100%.
It's not like I'm saying I don't. It's just, it's hard. It is hard taking a step back, looking at how you're living and why you're living that way. And who the fuck you think you are.
We can all do better.
No, for sure.
You know, yeah. Speaking of death, I wanted to kind of get into Mac Miller a little bit.
Ooh.
I think it happened Friday. That one, I mean, celebrities die all the time, so but this one hit home a little bit because, so I started listening to him. I'll give a little backstory on that. Like 3 years ago, I kind of started dabbling into hip hop a little bit. Like I was always, really didn't like it or anything like that.
Right.
But there would be a couple, like, I don't know, I had a couple singles from, I think it was like Good AM that I liked because I would be at the gym and I don't know, I like working out to hip hop. That's kind of when I started kind of exercising and everything.
Okay.
So hip hop was kind of a cool little, I don't know, it had a good BPM, like kind of keeps you going.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, I think you see him and you look at Mac Miller, he kind of just looks like, you know, he had an MTV show, he was like a little shit kid, kind of annoying and obnoxious in a way. But at the same point, it's like, you know, if I was that age and I had that much money, I'd probably be really stupid. I'm still obnoxious sometimes. I think there's beauty in being the happy idiot sometimes where it's like, fuck you, like you're giving me shit for like smiling and being an idiot a little bit, like, but I see that side of him. Like I see that was at least my initial response to him. So I was like, fuck that guy, you know, whatever. I heard a couple of singles and I would work out to him, and then we was slipping in a lot of messages of, you know, dealing with death and dealing with addiction. And those are two things that are always kind of going through my mind. I'm always like analyzing death and afraid of life, you know, and then these substances that kind of either turn that volume down a little bit so I'm not thinking about life and I'm just enjoying kind of being stupid and enjoying getting fucked up, and then analyzing that the next morning and being hungover. Like he was taking, for so much of my life, I was always writing about the sad part, never the reflective part of why I'm doing it. So it kind of gave me that idea of, oh, you can look at this from like, you know, 360, all different angles. So he kept, you know, I kept on paying attention to him, and I enjoyed his next couple albums. His last one was really fucking good, and I was listening to it a lot at the gym still, and it was awesome because he had a full band behind him. Like it was cool to kind of hear him mature into an artist too, and you know, realizing then hearing the album now is like fucking heartbreaking because you hear the cries for helps and you hear the pain, and you know it's the songs that I've been like singing along to and you know I've been relating to so much because like I fucking feel all that shit too, and then obviously, you know, it's real, like it's right in front of him, like, you know, wakes up overdose, but you know I woke up, so I mean, overdose, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, like, you know, overdosing or suicide, it's what is it, what do you want to call it, it's a, you know, it's sad, dude. It's another fucking really fucking talented guy. Like he had a lot of really interesting things to say, and he was using that platform in a positive way that I don't think people give him credit for, because they see him as, I think, like what I told you before, kind of this little punk shit fucking kid, like who, you know. But he had a lot of good, and then especially dating like Ariana Grande, who was like a huge celebrity. It's like kind of gives it that gross celebrity like thing too. But he had a lot of interesting things to say, man. That one stuck with me, and it definitely has kind of brought me down a little bit this week and kind of self-reflective a little bit. And also, you know, power to him for fucking, you know, because when you put out an album or something like that or doing anything creative, he left that man now, and he's dead now, but he left this little gift, man. And that's kind of what got me thinking of, you know, prior to the hurricane thing, washing everything away, everything digital. It's like that little thumbprint now could essentially just wash away so much of his struggle and his fight, and just like it was nothing.
It's not.
It wasn't
9/11.
9/11. It wasn't a huge milestone in anything in the world. It was nothing.
Yeah.
But it meant so much to like
a lot of people.
Yeah. But even if it's, I don't know. Hell's heavy, man. It's a heavy death.
Yeah. Well, I never really listened to him. I heard a couple of songs, and I don't know. I think I got the same first impression that you did, and I just never gave it a shot again.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't listen to a lot of rap, man. If I do listen to rap, it'll be like underground, you know, old rap.
Grave diggers.
I don't listen to the radio a whole lot. I kind of, since you introduced me to podcasts, dude, that's really all I've been listening to, or just filling my, I don't know. Radio's kind of dead to me.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
is he on the radio? Is he on the radio a lot?
I don't know. Like I said, that's probably another reason why I didn't listen to him a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it definitely is sad because he was an inspirational person. You know, he's trying to do the same thing I guess we're all trying to do, is just leave something behind after we're gone, I guess. Be
authentic, I think, too, is a big part of
standing out.
Yeah.
Letting go of that ego and all those negative thoughts that he held on to. And it does take a lot to put your soul out there, you know. Be
vulnerable.
Exactly.
Especially in the world we live in, where everybody's so fucking mean.
It's just...
Yeah.
This platform of social media allows that, you know. It just... I don't know. People need to be chill out.
Well, I think it's a big part is we don't have as much interaction with each other, too. And the more and more that we're living a different life on our phone in this like weird simulation we're essentially created in our palms, like you know, we don't have that day to day, you know, the like even like a good morning, how are you, to people, random strangers,
right?
Like, it's
last week so I'm a fucking nerd, and I listen to my own podcast to analyze myself, to analyze what I said, and if there's anything I could, you know, bring back. And last week I found I said speak to your neighbor. And I never like said anything else about that. What I mean is like, go out there and talk to these people that are living around you, that are in your community, and and you'll come to find that this world's not a terrible place. You know, we're all having struggles. We're all having highlights. Everybody's posting only the good on Facebook or whatever social media.
How they want to be seen.
And, which is kind of why I've stayed away from it for a while. And I like memes all the time, don't get me wrong. I'm on there. I just don't personally post. If I do post, it's either something that really authentically, genuinely made me laugh, or it's like a message I would believe in, or it's something that I wrote, or, you know, promoting this thing, this podcast or whatever. Like, that's really what I've stuck it to, and not really putting all those mini milestones pictures up
to make it feel like you've done something.
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough though, because those are good things. Like, you want to see people succeed too,
right?
But
there's a balance.
There's a balance. You want to see, you know, oh, good for them, they got married or whatever, you know. I don't know. It's tough balance there too.
Yeah, well, you have to. I don't know, it's kind of a shift back to...
I just ranted, sorry.
What was I going to say? So and this was one thing that I thought of after he died too, where everybody has their response. Everybody's, like, okay, here's the response. Here's my vlog here's my podcast about talking about it. But, it's always, the selfie on Snapchat. But it's reach out. Like, you have people close to you, right? Like, you have friends, you have family.
Right.
And instead of spending an hour trying to, like, fix your ego online, why don't you just reach out to some of your friends and talk to them? You did that the other day. It was just that, how are you?
Yeah.
Rather than just, rather than giving yourself internet points for putting together a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it, dude. And I did that to a couple of friends that, I consider really close friends that I've poured, stories out with them. And I just, I wanted you to know, and those other friends that I sent out like, I am here, dude. I am here to listen. And I know we do this weekly, but we do it on a mic too.
Right, it's different.
Yeah, it's talking about it.
Yeah.
Obviously we have fucking lives and we keep shit off of mic, obviously. But it's reaching out, dude. I don't know. It sounds so corny, and it
goes a long way.
Yeah, it really does. And this is checking on your strong friend. It's.
Yeah.
It sounds really corny, but
then you punch him in the gut,
and then you hey fucker, snap out of it.
Checking on my.
It's just those little things you can do.
I think
that you can really do instead of blowing it up on social media and making it public for everybody. Even though that's a good thing too, it's like, but people won't reach out.
Yeah.
People I don't know. It's got to be more personal, I feel like.
I think that's yeah, for sure. I think that's the problem. It's not personal, so there's no, it's for you.
Yeah.
It's to make yourself look like you're a suicide, like obviously you're anti-suicide and depression, and reach out, call this number, and like, great, share all that. But how about you like reach out to some people in your immediate circle and just do that on a more regular basis? I feel like would go a long way for people, because I think the worst thing that I can say with dealing with depression or alcoholism and all these things is when you hold it to yourself and you keep the light on, so you know you're feeling this, you feel like you're depressed, but you're not. Like, there's a lot of power in words and just communicating with somebody, even if it's a dumb hey, how are you? Like, have you ever talked to somebody and then you just ask them that right question and then they're in tears?
Oh, dude,
they just
or they just spill it all out. Like,
yeah.
Those are amazing moments.
And that's the same thing with anger. It's with every single emotion. We're like, some people are just on this hairline trigger, man. So, yeah, I don't know.
My buddy Alan posted the other day, said, I've been working on this motto. I'm butchering it. Sorry, Alan. But, it said something like, do more, say less. Act more, say less. I don't know. It was just to the fact that, like, actions do speak louder than words, but our words are often overlooked.
Yes.
They do have a lot of meaning behind them.
It's the reason why I've been doing it for so many years.
What?
Talking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And, it's I don't know. Just reach out. It's not hard. You have those people that you talk to, or that you consider your friends, off of social media, and, reach out to those people. You never know what they're going through, people at work, you make good friends at work sometimes.
Yeah.
Reach out to them. You don't know anything about what somebody's dealing with.
Right. You only see their happy pictures on the Instagram.
So that's your, like, and I could, let's take it back. My reunion. I didn't go to my high school reunion because I was like, oh, dude. And social media does put a buzzkill on that. I didn't go to my reunion because I was like, I already know what all these people are up to. Oh, cool. You got a dog. Cool. Right. And I'm guilty of it too. I fucking post pictures of my dog all the time.
Yeah.
But, I guess that's me not giving it a chance and analyzing it now. I was like, I wish I would have gone, because you can be more personal. You can, reach out to these friends that, bro, I went to school with these guys since like elementary, some of them, I remember them, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, all that. That's a long fucking time, you know?
It's the path of least resistance, and
Exactly.
that's why we don't
I
do
think that's
things.
why, yeah.
And that's why and that's the danger of it, because you feel like you are keeping tabs, you are keeping up with the Kardashians, because you're watching all these things and you're seeing all these things, you're jerking off to porn and you're feeling the release, you're
stimulating yourself.
Yeah, so it's like
you're living life.
Yeah, you can get
quotes.
food delivered to yourself because it's all so much easier. Mm-hmm. But the ease, like, I don't know. That's the problem. The problem is that it's the comfort. It's just that the path of least resistance we all love, because we're just naturally lazy, kind of
lazy people.
Yeah, you just want that quick little reward, but the way that our society is working, it's programming you to operate that way. Through the dings and the vibrations and through the commercials. Like, they're making us fucking brain dead.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying shit.
WALL-E, dude, that movie WALL-E.
Yeah.
That fucking, like, that's a pretty dark movie.
For sure.
I don't know if we've talked about this.
I think like 2 other times.
Dude.
But it's so good.
It's just like that fact that everything is in this floating fucking vessel around you and you don't have to move.
Yeah.
Like, it went so far that their bones deconstructed, bro. Like, we lost our bones. We were just fucking blubber.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't move. We could, like...
No.
That's dark as fuck if you think about
For
it.
sure.
And it's a Disney movie. It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's just...
But that's the...
Disney pressure, bro.
That's the path we're taking, though, man.
Yeah, it
really is.
Them controlling us, like you said. Or manipulating...
I think people are waking up to it, but the problem is there's so many people.
You want to just call this the woke podcast?
Yeah.
I think we should
Not
totally.
really.
I just feel like we hit that point.
I don't know.
You feel like people they're waking up to it.
I think yes. I think some people are, but I think that there's also just so many people, and there's so many dumb people. It's not necessarily their fault. We're just all wired completely different. Like, and you can get food delivered to you that's fucking amazing. It's easy to just like watch Netflix until your eyes like roll into the back of your skull, like shoving Dominoes into your face. And
you're describing my life.
Yeah, right.
No, I do watch. I have been falling asleep to Ozark though. That's one thing I've been doing.
Yeah. There was a thing in Russia, from speaking of Domino's, it was a store, and they're like, if you get the logo tattooed on you, you can get pizza for life.
Are you
and it was
serious?
supposed to be a 2-month campaign, and like they had like over like 1,000 people or something.
Oh my god.
No, it's 350 people that did it like in the first 2 days. And they're like, okay, never mind. Like,
they shut it down.
Yeah, they shut it down in 2 days, just over the weekend. They're like, because so many people just got the little Domino's thing tattooed for free.
How big did it have to be?
I'm not sure, but there were some decent sized pieces. Yeah, so
I bet some people were like, well, if I'm gonna have this on for the rest of my life, I'm gonna make it look badass.
I think,
and it's like
there was a lot of like that. Then there's shitty ones too. But
yeah, just the fucking.
It is funny how fast that backfired on them. Like, oh shit! So they still are like,
and it proves like there's a lot of,
I mean, free pizza for like, I mean, I'd even almost do that, because it's like if I was broke as shit.
I'd be like, Domino's.
Yeah.
Hook it up.
Yeah. Baby, Domino's.
My payment? It's right here, right. Slap the skin, There it is.
There it is.
I don't know. It's like having a pool. You say you'll be in it all the time if you don't have one, and when you do have one, you really don't use it a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could get really tired of pizza.
Yeah.
There's that aspect to it.
Oh,
then I'm just being picky.
Get tired
but
of
if
it.
I was broke and had no money,
right. Back to I was kind of talking about when we were talking about the internet and Mac Miller dying. I was thinking also of how many days until like memes of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the dark humor comedy side. Whereas also so I started thinking, I was like, isn't that fucked up that like you could die as a meme almost now? Like, we live in a day and age, like if you did something really stupid, you could die.
You'll be a meme,
and
you'll live forever. Like, that's what you leave behind.
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
That's very sad, actually.
Like
there's no respect. There's no
respect. They could completely.
That's maybe where that hatred comes from. Memes, bro.
Yeah.
Just this cynical way
That's
of
true.
thinking of things, Because that's a lot of what memes are, and everybody's like, oh, you check this meme. Everybody loves memes, bro.
Maybe
that's the everybody hates everybody. Like,
maybe that's the thing that
hates people.
And obviously it's a thing because in Russia and China and stuff, like there's jobs where people go there, and they create memes and get paid to help manipulate. Maybe they didn't manipulate the election.
Meme farms.
That's crazy. That's a real thing, and we don't actually think very often. Did we talk about this on the podcast before?
I think we may have briefly talked about it.
It wasn't until recently that I really turned on the light. I was like, holy shit, we know that's a thing, but it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing.
No, we're not going to stop it.
And
look, this is anti-Trump one's really funny.
Right. And obviously if we're always relating to it the same, it's like, oh yeah, that's so true. That's so true. That's so funny. That's so true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that it's true. It's that they're tricking us and being like, oh yeah, I do feel that way. Oh yeah, I do feel like that. They're programming the reactions, and then we're.
But I mean, that's how you get comics too. That's it. There's a balance to life.
For sure.
All of it.
Maybe there's a shitty music that that doesn't mean there's amazing amazing music or movies or
right
for sure.
You just got to find it or find what works for you, where you're happy. I don't know, but that's hard. You realize these thoughts aren't. You'll never say it. It's like fat shaming. You'll never say it, but you think it. Is that fucked up of you, or is it? I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah. That's tough.
I guess it's you're not your thoughts. I mean, if that just means your collective pool of absorption of all these things that you would never think of before, unless maybe movies and memes and shit kind of. Disney pressured into your brain.
Oh shit! I almost wore a Disney shirt today.
They created the construct that you're living. They created everything happened for a reason or whatever it is.
Right.
Well, it's being manufactured for you certainly because living in the forest off of nothing and being in touch with the world.
Off of the universe.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that just yogis that meditate for 14, 15, 20 their whole life.
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
That's insane.
What the fuck are you that's a different kind of human. You're so in touch differently than how we are surviving. Is it better or worse?
I think that's why they're secluded, right? Or they're isolated. Some monks or Buddhists or I don't know. I think they understand. What's going on in society, a lot better than we living in society do.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to be a part of it. Hence the isolation. They retreat into the fucking mountains and shit.
Right.
They live off of.
Wonder what the happiness scale is on somebody that lives that kind of life. Maybe there's just not any spikes. Maybe it's very I guess it's zen, that equilibrium, that constant hum, I guess, in a weird way, where it'd be, you're constantly just going through the motions, just feeling connected to everything.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful feeling.
No, definitely.
That people definitely lose.
Yeah, that's why I practice yoga in the mornings outside every day.
Right.
I love that. And even after my video ends, I sit there. In Shavasana or whatever pose I'm in. And resting pose. And I just listen and I clear my thoughts.
Yeah.
I listen a lot. I don't listen to myself. I listen to all the noises around me. And I mean, obviously it's impossible to completely not think about anything.
Right.
You do think about these little things and those are the little things that you analyze about yourself,
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that? Why did you, I don't know, fucking go off on your dog the other day, you think about these things is it worth, it's a fucking dog, he loves playing, thinks you're playing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That was one of them this morning that I was thinking about.
Oh, really?
You know, it's just those things that you just have to think and analyze. And I don't know, you have to better yourself in that way. We've always said it's like, it's not a bad thing to analyze yourself regularly, constantly,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things too, where when you're not, if you're just going through life with the blinders on, never analyzing the things or the hurt or the love that you're sharing, not when you're not making yourself better, but you're just not in touch or in tune with, you know, any of the things that you're preaching. Like, I think it's so important that people do some kind of like, I don't know, at least I wasn't taught as a kid or anything in school to be like self-reflective and really try to analyze yourself and what you're doing and why you're doing certain things.
Yeah.
I think we really kind of brush over that in a weird way. And that's actually funny, because there's one thing I kind of wrote down I was going to talk about was this show on Showtime, that Jim Carrey's new show, which I was interested to watch. Number one, because he's my favorite. I've loved him since I was a kid. He's a fucking huge inspiration to me, which is probably why I'm a fucking weirdo. But also just because after like the last couple of years, he's been like painting and being pretty like eccentric in interviews and being very like, you know, one with the earth. And so I was interested to see like what this project would be, and it's actually really fucking good. So basically, you heard of it? It's called Kidding.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't know what it's about.
So he's kind of like this Mr. Rogers type character where he's teaching the kids, you know, blue, green, you know, love, fun, happy things. He's like, you know, huge. He makes like $130 million. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But on the outside of that, like, he got like, his wife got in a car accident. One of his twin kids died.
Oh shit.
Then he's having like divorce problems, and he's like going through like the hard part of life, but he has to like project that it's like happy and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But as he's losing it on set, he's like trying to, you know, get death as like teaching kids these things. And, you know, the producer's like, no, we're not going to do that. You know, this week we need to teach I love this line. He's like, we need to teach the kids, like, kids don't need to know anything more about colors. They already know that the sky is blue. They need to know what to do when the sky is falling down. And it is an interesting thing because,
wow,
you know, we sing and dance and pretend that life isn't happening and pretend that real feelings aren't there. Like your brother dying or parents dying or getting sick, or, you know, because it's not fun, it's not happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you want to sit your kid down in front of the TV so then they're distracted for half an hour, not crying for half an hour.
Right.
Like that's the path of the least resistance too. But it's a good show. I'm excited to keep on watching. But it is how do you teach kids these? Like, I think that's our education system, that we need to teach kids about depression. And, you know, last week,
I think it's getting a lot better.
Do you think so?
I don't know if it's necessarily the
better.
educational part, but it's more of that social media. There's careful there.
Look, Roy went down weird.
It's all around social media. We all see it, but then again, it's that aspect of it not being personal. So
yeah, that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all for
bullshit.
fucking brownie point.
Brownie points.
Brownie sounds good.
A special brownie?
Sounds even better.
I know, right?
Fuck.
Taking any edibles?
That got me. Well, I took an edible for my run today. Always. Classic. Tried and true.
Classic Eddie. Let's talk about your show, bro.
Oh, yeah. That happened.
Your EP release.
Yeah, that happened.
What's EP stand for?
Friday. That's a good question. That's hilarious. Let's see.
Hold on, folks. We're looking this shit up. It was awesome, though, dude. I didn't notice it as much as, like, your previous shows that I've been to, but you, like, fluctuate your voice a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I
don't know if you're...
I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like it. It's just... You're totally, like, a different person on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, you're quirky around everybody else, like, in a normal situation, but on stage, you really, like...
Turn it up, and
you become something like
a
the
performer.
motion. You performer, yeah, dude. Which is like if you would, I would never think of you as a performer if I like met you or like
Right.
I'd think like, oh, this guy's pretty weird, you know, but cool.
Yeah,
not in a bad way. Not insulting you here.
No, it's like the nicest compliment that I've gotten.
That's what I got from that show that night.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's something that I've learned of, and, you know, and that's with the writing, the self, like, analyzing, and it's, you know, you are performing. It's not and you know, one part about it is I've had this in my mind for a while, which I like try to give at least put my best on the floor. It's like, this could be the last time you do this, you know. You could die or maybe break up or who knows. So like, this could be the last time. So you always kind of go out there like, oh shit, I got something to prove.
Yeah.
But then just the character thing, like, you can make yourself vulnerable that way if you feel like you're somebody else.
Right.
In a way.
But if that's you, then...
And yeah, and you can kind of flex on the things that you do experience, and you can use it through this other talking point to kind of get into those really gritty parts that you don't always feel comfortable about talking with.
Yeah.
But yeah, the inflections of my voice, like the lower like register, like the Elvis-y thing.
Yeah. I dug it, dude.
Thank you.
Like your first album, check it out, people, The Edisons. It's called Carriers.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it was badass. I also noticed that you interact with the crowd a lot more.
Yeah.
And I could probably see that because of this.
I was thinking the same thing, dude. I know, it was
that
funny.
we've just been talking back and forth. But and then you and Lauren interact. She's funny as fuck too.
Yeah.
She's like your backup vocal, right?
Yeah.
And on the piano, El Train. I don't know. You guys bounce back and forth pretty well, and it was her dad's birthday. That shit was hilarious, dude. I don't know. I noticed that though, that your interaction with the crowd, it gets everybody more focused. It
does.
draws people in. It's that performance aspect.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's something, I don't know. It's just, I just try to get better at it. It's it's self-reflective, man.
Yeah.
So you want to get better and better, and you want to keep the audience like captivated.
Right.
It was funny because our bass player Eric
So
was,
you even mentioned it. Go ahead.
what? Oh, so no, go. Well, I think it was cool because, you know, his wife sent us some videos that she took, and like generally there's a lot of people doing that. Like they'll send us, and like I didn't get it very much this time because it was cool, which was cool because like people were captivated rather than like just going or like, you know what I mean. So that was a cool
Right.
kind of, I don't know,
Experience.
Yeah.
You even said it like while you were on stage, and it's like, yeah, thanks for paying attention and not looking down at your phones.
Yeah.
And there's a couple people in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Like, oh shit.
they weren't even listening, bro.
Right.
Like I looked around and I saw like 3 people just, you know, on their phone texting or whatever. Which is, dude, everybody does
I know,
it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And it's probably good that they did it during the intermission instead of like during the song or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just you calling it out was pretty funny.
People all enjoy things differently. I mean, some people. I mean, the fact of even getting out of your house, and even if you're on your phone the whole time, fucking props to you, because even for me that's a struggle sometimes. Then it's like now you're out of your house, so you're like uncomfortable, so you want to plug into the matrix to get those little because I'm an introvert, which is very strange as like a performer too, or for doing this.
Yeah.
Like I have social anxiety really bad. Like I was anxious probably like a week before that show.
Just thinking about it, running it through your head.
Just like scared of things going wrong.
I mean, you gotta, but there's also last week you couldn't fucking find out why these headphones weren't working or whatever, and it was that little simple thing that it wasn't just plugged in, you know, or it wasn't.
Yeah, just the mute on the keyboard.
Mute on the keyboard, and it's. Think about it like that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would that be better? If there is something wrong, you adapt and overcome.
That's true. I mean, that's the only, through practice and trial and error is the only thing.
Shit's gonna go wrong. Life's never gonna be perfect, so why worry yourself?
For sure.
Or just beat yourself up over like, oh, come on, this
guy.
guy's
The what ifs.
Yeah, the what ifs.
Yeah, man, those
are killers.
That's such a good point. Yeah. My dad lives constantly with the what ifs. And now that I've separated, because he gave me that. Thanks, Dad. Which I didn't like now when you get older, you start kind of connecting the dots.
Dude, isn't that weird?
It's very strange because I'm like, you gave me this.
You do
and
shit.
I'm not doing this anymore. Like, and so now that I've separated myself from the what ifs and the constant fear and what if this happens with that, I'm like, dude, it's so heavy to be, because I'm fucking 30 years walking around with scenarios
that aren't
took hours crafted, just putting and piecing together of like not even one what if. It's like, well, what if this and this and this and it's just like so tiring, dude.
For sure, dude. And you know, taking it back to high school, I can relate to this because it's like when you're doing a project or whatever and you got to present it in front of the class, it's like, oh shit,
I hated that.
Fuck. One thing I started doing was going first. Just being
Oh.
the first one up there. You set the bar.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody's going to do a lot fucking better and a lot fucking worse than you.
It's a
you
good
know?
idea.
Yeah, and I started doing that probably like junior year. I was like, yeah, I got to do this.
Yeah.
And so it's that aspect of just,
It's funny because that's what I hate about, especially the shows that, like, I hate putting shows together, number one, because it's a lot of pressure for somebody that's socially anxious. And, like, just having to kind of coordinate everything. But then also you play last. And, like, I hate everything that I do. I'm like I mean, everybody's their own worst critic.
Yeah.
But I really beat the shit out of myself. Like, I hate myself. You don't understand the level of hatred I have
That's
for
not good,
any
man.
of my creative endeavors. So, like, when there's, like, 3 bands in front, like, oh, fuck, I don't deserve to be here. Why am I doing that? What is this so stupid? This song, like, these are better. Like,
Yeah.
the whole time, and that's like constantly in my head. And like, it's funny, since we've been a band for like 3 years now, and I was always kind of having that in me. Now that, like, when we're texting after whatever about the show, like, a lot of times I'm like, oh, this is shitty. Like, I don't even say that out loud anymore because I understand that's tiring to be that person.
Yeah.
To be like the Mr. Mopey, like, oh, well, it wasn't, it's a shitty plane to exist in, and I realize that I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that analyzing yourself and reformatting your thoughts.
That's what it is, reformatting. That's a
Yeah.
good way to say it. I like that.
Perspective, man.
Repackaging, rebranding your thoughts.
Just like we did with our IG name.
That's true. Repackaging.
Hopefully, y'all can search us easier.
Yeah, search it.
Search
I'm
it.
sure they know it if they're listening, probably, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? We're kind of...
Who is listening?
Who is listening? SoundCloud, are you out there?
Oh, man. Anything else? What's been something this week?
Do I have anything else? No, was anything exciting, big in your week?
No. Not that I can think of on the spot, at least. There probably is.
Well, should we say till next week?
Till next week, folks. Thank you for listening. We love you. Go follow us on IG at the new name, Who Do You Think You Are Pod.
You can do better.